Hey, welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. And one of the things we do on the James Show is document Texas taking over the world. And it looks like we're getting one step closer because I hear tale of a stock exchange coming to Texas. Let's talk about that with the guy who knows a little bit more about money than I do, Spencer McGowan. He's a certified financial planner, host of Net Worth Radio, which you hear on the weekends here on WBAP. Welcome back, Spencer. Tell me about this new stock exchange in Texas.
James, this is big. It is confirmation that Dallas has become Y'all Street. That was a Dallas Business Journal term.
I have never heard that, and it's brilliant. Y'all Street. Love it already.
Kudos to the Dallas Business Journal for coming up with it. But they cited North Texas is second in financial services jobs to New York, dominating the rest of the country, and more Manhattan trading coming here. This was a big announcement, and it mainly with the people involved. The new Texas Stock Exchange, it'll be in downtown Dallas. The big heavyweights, BlackRock and Citadel. Citadel is one of the largest electronic trading platforms and clearing platforms in the world. $120 million in starting capital. They've already picked a CEO, James Lee, and he has a choice quote about the founding of the exchange.
Well, let's hear it. What's the choice quote?
Dallas has become one of, if not the most dominant financial centers in the country, if not the world. And so a real confirmation here. One of the things that this is, it's a rebellion against the compliance costs that NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange, that really maintained a tight grip. Well, one of the new rules they said was board diversity. So, if you don't have a Samoan transvestite on your board, you may not be in compliance.
You get a demerit. No soup for you.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, I love this line of thought because without digging into it, I've always held the notion that it's really not fair that both of the major stock exchanges, and we only have two in this country, right? NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange.
They're the only ones of significance.
Yeah. So, and they're both in New York City. So how does New York City and the state of New York get to make the rules for all of the rest of us in the stock game? And there's the fact that there's been no competition has bothered me because I've always thought they couldn't get away with half the stuff they're doing if they had any competition. Now we're about to find out.
Well, and part of this is actually the Texas business courts. It's one of the reasons Elon Musk moved the state of residence here to Texas for Tesla because he was upset at Delaware. Well, the Texas business courts, that establishment, very pro-business friendly, and this is part of it. It is a result from that. So we look forward to they're choosing their location. So I'm following the story closely.
Well, I also think ahead, and I'm a dirty little native Texan here. This just brings us one step closer to secession, or at least if we threaten it, people would have to react because we now have our own stock exchange. We now have our entire financial world can have its own backbone.
Well, and the order flow is huge because BlackRock and Citadel control so much of the order flow, the clearing, those operations. Well, Schwab was the first to move here from San Francisco, and it really surprised me at the time. Fidelity has a big regional headquarters. Goldman Sachs in the process of bringing 5,000 to their new regional headquarters. And so the momentum in North Texas really underscores a financial services hub that has the brightest future.
So how will this affect the average retail investor? People like me, people like the guy listening to us. I mean, we dump some money in our 401k and some of that's mixed in the stock world. Are we going to notice any change?
Well, trading, BlackRock and Citadel both have the goal to make trading much more efficient, right? And so the benefit would be fund performance, likely to get, to have some benefit, especially from the competition. The spreads narrow. That was part of what happened with fixed commissions. Actually, Charles Schwab sued the New York Stock Exchange in the 70s. But it should result in much more efficiency. And the people involved in this really underscore the fact that there's a reason for it, and that's likely to the investor's benefit.
It seems so strange, though, that something that doesn't seem very culturally connected at all. This is a dollars and cents spreadsheet type of business. We're having massive shockwaves because they are now overlapping with the woke ideology. And so these cultural issues that used to be fussed at just in the fringes are now having effect in the business world. And I'm shocked that that's actually one of the final straws that broke the camel's back and got us our own stock exchange, pulling it away from New York.
Well, the New York Stock Exchange will be the dominant exchange for in our lifetimes. It's unlikely to be dethroned, but this is the first time that there's been a shot across the bow. And actually, the New York Stock Exchange studied moving to Dallas in the 70s, in part because things in New York were not as much fun.
Spencer, give it 20 years. We will be the dominant stock exchange. No income tax, but lighter regulations, better rules. People will move over here. If not in 10 years, it'll be 20 years. That's my prediction.
It helps our home values.
It certainly does. Thank you very much, Spencer McGowan.